North of Johannesburg are close to traffic today, and motorists are advised to avoid the area until this afternoon. The roads affected include, among others, Maude, West Rivonia and Gwen Lane. Hundreds of people have gathered in the business district to raise awareness against gender-based violence. The protest is being led by Call to Action, a consortium representing more than 70 civil society groups. They aim to bring the area to a standstill, saying it cannot be business as usual while women and children are being killed daily. The protesters are outside the Johannesburg Stock Exchange in the Sandton CBD. They are calling on big business to get involved and help fund initiatives aimed at curbing violence against women and children. We have two reporters there, but we're going to cross to Hasina Gori, who has been bringing us updates on the march in Sandton. Hasina, a very good morning to you. What can you tell us at this time?
Good morning. Yes, Desra, we've been here since the early hours of the morning. And the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, which opens at 9 a.m., opened a few moments ago, but it was not business as usual, as outside the exchange this morning was protesters. Thousands have gathered here this morning from as early as 2 a.m., calling for some action to be done against gender-based violence. They're saying that big business has a responsibility to also play its part. They have finance and the money to assist, especially public sector and civil organizations which need the money and the funding to help curb gender-based violence. They're saying that enough is not being done, and they've had enough. We know that this action was sparked by the killing of a 19-year-old Oyinene last week, and it sparked a kind of ember that's been boiling in the country, where people are now saying that something needs to be done against femicide in the country. Outside the JSE this morning, we see women of all colors and nations, as well as different organizations, all coming together under one umbrella, which is called Call for Action, saying something needs to be done. But there's a mock crime scene that's been set up as well. We're going to take a quick walk through it and have a look at what exactly is here. But with me to speak more on what's at this crime scene is one of the activists here, Lebogang Mogele. Thank you so much for speaking to us. You here this morning, you've been here from the early hours of the morning. What made you come out this morning to come and add your voice here?
As women, we came here all the way from the Val Triangle in Sebokeng. It's because each and every day when you wake up, you hear something about gender-based violence. You hear something about femicides, of which that makes us not to feel at ease in our life, in our daily routines of life. It makes us not to feel safe, because every time you need to go search for your safety somewhere. We feel that there's no place that we are safe anymore. It's churches, it's schools, it's the workplace, it's anywhere, the business, anywhere. Women are not safe. We are here today to demand that the business people, they should try and support the initiative of gender-based violence. Try to add money so that implementation on the ground level should be more feasible, more active, so that we capacitate our women, we capacitate even young boys and even men on gender-based violence.
Your group that you're here with today have dressed in a way that a domestic abused woman or a battered woman would look like. What sparked this specific kind of outlook that you decided to go with today?
Yeah, the bruises, it's a show that we are carrying all these scars as women in our daily lives. We are trying to hide them by putting on some makeups, but today we are showing them up to the world. To tell the world that look at us as women, we are scarred. We are not only scarred on our bodies, but we are also scarred spiritually, so psychologically. So I feel like a country without women who are sensible and who are psychologically okay, or psychologically harassed, it's not going to be a well-functioning country. So if the government can hear our pleas today, they should I think they also need to be sensitized on gender-based violence issues, because if they are sensitized there in the parliaments, have a sensitized constitution, sensitized let's say people who are dealing with those policies that are supposed to protect women. Policies are there in this country but are not well implemented. So we, as women today, we are coming here to come and say to the government, here we are. Where is that South Africa that you promised us from the days when Abo Mam Winnie Mandela was still alive, Abo Mam Tambo was still alive? We need that South Africa that we were promised.
We're standing here at a mock crime scene. Can you talk me through what we are looking at right here and what's the significance of some of these items that are here today?
I think, as we all know, each and every day, infants are getting raped and getting killed. This is a demonstration of what is happening every day in our country. This is a case that we have been following in the Val of a domestic worker. She died 7 years back. So this is what we are trying to say about her. This resembles all the women who died because of gender-based violence. So simply everything here, even the coffin there, it's all the shit that women have to go through because of the perpetrators of gender-based violence in this country.
Thank you so much. That was Lebogang Mogele speaking to us outside the JSE this morning, speaking on gender-based violence. We're standing at a mock crime scene of some of the cases that they say have not really, got enough attention or that get hidden under all the other cases that happen. And as we know in South Africa, we have a problem with femicide. We know at least 3 females die every day in this country at the hand of a loved one. And we know that this protest action that is expected to carry on today will take place it started at 3 a.m. and will end at 3 p.m. And we do know that there are some road closures here at the economic hub of South Africa. So to find out more on traffic and how it's impacting the rest of Sandton this morning, we cross to my colleague Gillian Pillay, who's out on the street of Sandton.
Very thank you to you, Asina. But as you can see there, Blaine and Desiree, we are standing at the Maude entrance to the JSE, and a little splinter group has broken away from the larger group of protesters, and they have now basically staged a protest in the middle of Rivonia Road. Police are trying to get them to move out of the road so that traffic, which has been largely, there's been no problems on the road, there's been no bottlenecks, there's been no backlog in terms of traffic pile-ups or traffic jams. Police have swiftly acted, and they're trying to get this small splinter group to move back with the other protesters. As you can see there, protesters quite adamant that they're going to protest peacefully, placard there peacefully. They're saying that it can't be business as usual in this area. But as I said, it's been a very trafficless day today here in Sandton. We know that there's a lot of traffic jams generally in the area, but since early this morning, we saw a lot of JMPD officers on the road trying to bring pointsmen across, but also a lot of manpower on the road. Joining me is our JMPD, Mr. Fitla. Just talk to us quickly about what we're seeing playing out right there with the splinter group protesting on the road there.
Okay, what we're seeing is a group has splintered from the main group on Maude Street. So they're on Rivonia and Maude. Then they've blocked the western, eastern direction of Maude. We've got officers from SABC just to control traffic, and I think it's their safety is most important. So we'll be on the lookout for that. And we've also had groups walking up and down chanting.
Just to interrupt you, I just want to show our viewers this that we're seeing now. Groups have now moved closer to the barrier where police have set up their vehicles, and I think they're almost wanting to join that small splinter group to try and block off the road, Rivonia Road, where traffic is moving in an easterly direction. But I'm going to continue talking to the JMPD here. So you were saying that they are allowed to protest in a demarcated area.
They are allowed to protest in a demarcated area. So we have officers trying to move them there, and it's for their safety and the safety of other road users. So hopefully they will be moved. But if it is peaceful, then they will be allowed to demonstrate on the roadway.
Just talk to us quickly about the routes that have been cordoned off, and how has traffic been so far, apart from this little bit of a hiccup that we're seeing here?
Okay, the routes that are still cordoned off is Maude between Rivonia and West, and it's also Gwen Lane between Freedman and Maude. And surprisingly, traffic has been flowing in the area, so people actually are staying away, and I think they are working from home.
I saw a lot of people Ubering actually to get into the central part of Sandton, and I think that has alleviated a lot of the bottlenecks that one would usually see at this time, the peak traffic and the volumes that you'd see at this time of the morning in an area like this.
Now that is true, but we also have officers at strategic points, so if it does get congested, they are there to control the traffic.
That was JMPD talking to us about the kind of road closures in place. We're just going to still show you the picture right here where police have set up a barrier to just block off crowds so that they can protest in the precinct of the JSE. As you saw earlier, there is a splinter group still on Rivonia Road protesting peacefully, and police are trying to get them to move off Rivonia Road back towards the precinct where the rest of the protesters are. Back to the studio.
Right, Gillian Pillay as well as Hasina Gori, thank you very much indeed for your reporting. Stand by, we'll come and check back with you in a short while. So I guess the call is for men to change their behavior, change their attitude. As you've heard from Hasina and Gillian's reporting, it's not business as usual anymore. Things need to change a pace. Now, Themba Masango is not in my name, Secretary General. He